Today we are going to discuss about Simpson one-third lab for numerical integration. Okay, some Simpson one-third lab comes under the numerical integration, so we'll check a little bit about what is numerical integration, okay, and what are different types of laws in the numerical integration, and we'll finally check out one simple problem on Simpson one-third law, and finally we'll convert that problem, okay, the logic to a program. Okay, so first what is a numerical integration? Okay, numerical integration is nothing but is a curve. Okay, numerical integration is nothing but f of x is a curve, okay, through a x-axis direction. Okay, so what is a numerical integration is, if any curve f of x curve is there, so we want to get any area s between 2 points a and b. Okay, we are going to calculate the area of curve under x direction between a and b. Okay, so because of that reason we are going to use the numerical integration. A area bounded by a curve f of x and x axis between a limit a and b is denoted by this formula. Okay, we know that integration, we have a limit, lower limit and upper limit. A is a lower limit and b is upper limit, and f of x this is dx. Okay, dx, this is one simple what is a numerical integration, it is there. So how we are going to do the numerical integration? Now how to solve the problem to get the area of the curve? Now what we will do, whatever the curve is there between 2 points a and b, we are going to divide the points in different sections. Okay, that is called a is equal to x0, y x1, x2, x3, x4, and this xn, b is a xn. Okay, this way we are going to divide the x values, and after dividing the x values we are going to calculate the x values as a y, f of x is equal to y. Then we are going to do some formulas. Okay, what are the three different formulas are there? There are three different formula. One is trapezoidal rule, okay, another is Simpson one-third rule, and another is Simpson 3/8 rule. Okay, what is why these are the different formulas? Okay, for different conditions we are going to use particular formula. Example, trapezoidal rule. Okay, use for any number of interval. Interval is nothing but that any number of divisions. Okay, so first we are going to divide the area in a n number of interval where h is equal to step size. Step size is nothing but a x0 to x1. What is the difference? Okay, that is called h, that we can easily calculate it using h is equal to b minus a divided by n. This is h. So trapezoidal rule is nothing but we are going to calculate any area with any number of interval. We are not at all making any constant like this much intervals has to be there. Okay, that time we can easily trapezoidal rule we can use. Another is Simpson one-third law used for even number of intervals. Example, 2 is there, or 4, 6, even number of intervals is there, means we are going to use this one, Simpson one-third rule, and Simpson 3/8 rule. It is used for if there is intervals are multiple of 3. Example, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. If it is in this intervals we are dividing in this format, then we have to use Simpson 3/8 rule, because if we are going to calculate, these three formulas are used to calculate the approximate value of the curve. Okay, approximate value of the function. Okay, so we'll check what are the three different formulas are there, and finally we will go for Simpson one-third rule. Okay, trapezoidal rule. Okay, we know that one, integration of with lower limit a and higher limit b f of x dx is equal to, in this one h we are making outside, means multiplication, and at the first initial we are just taking the y0 plus yn, means find initial and final value divided by 2, and we are adding the remaining values. Okay, Then Simpson one-third rule. Okay, in this one how we are doing means integration with lower limit is a, higher limit is b, f of x dx is equal to h by 3, the initial f of x value and the final f of x value, and later 4 into, okay, 4 into some values and 2 into some values. I will tell what is this values. Okay, when we comes to 2 into values, right, these are the multiples of 2, always it will come 2 into multiples of 2 always. Okay, and 4 into remaining values which are comes from apart from this y0 and yn, and apart from this multiples of 2 means y1, y3, y5, y7, this kind of it will come. Okay, this is a formula for Simpson one-third rule. And when we come to Simpson 3/8 rule, this also very simple. Just we are adding this here, instead of h we are adding 3h, and instead of 3 we are adding 8, and another the initial value and the final value of x of this one, and 3 into the remaining value, and 2 into multiples of 3. Okay, in this one 2 into multiples of 3 it will come, example 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 it will come. And what are the remaining value except this value and this value, what are the remaining value are there, we are going to put in the 3 into values. Okay, this is a Simpson third rule. So we are going to discuss, our topic is Simpson one-third rule. In this one we are going to calculate approximate value for a f of x curve. Okay, we know this formula. So we are going to calculate h is equal to b minus a by 2. Sorry, it's not 2, it's n. Just a minute, I will make that proper. It's n divided by n. Okay, okay, in this one divided by n. And now we are going to check one simple problem is the integration of lower limit 0 and higher limit 0.6. so it is clearly saying that one 6 intervals are there. Okay, sin x dx. So we are going to calculate a curve like sin x, means how the value is moved, right, in a curve. That way we are going to calculate with 6 intervals. If we are taking 0, 1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.6, 0.5, 0.6, this is our values of x it will come. And when we calculate h, okay, 0.6 minus 0 by 6 is equal to 0.1. Okay, when we calculate function of x, okay, that is sin x is equal to, okay, we'll check one by one how it will come. Sin of 0, we can check out. In this also we have kept as 0. If it is a x is equal to 0, what is the sin of 0? Okay, sin of 0.1 you can check out. By this way we have calculated all the values 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and everything like this. And if we assign the values for this formula, 3 by h by 3 initial value and the final value, initial value is 0 and final value is this one, and 4 into remaining terms plus 2 into multiples of 2 terms. Okay, okay, if we do that one, this is a final term, initial and final term. Okay, 4 into remaining term and 2 into multiples of 2 term. Okay, what value we will get? We will get this value. Okay, once again I will try to copy this formula and we will run in the, here we are going to run into, so we got a value this one. Okay, this is a value of this Okay, the value we got this one. So now we'll quickly check out for the problem, I means program, how it will work. Okay, first I would like to see, okay, our formula, our program is this one. So I just taking a copy, I'm copying pasting, but remember guys, you have to write the each and every. Okay, we are just redefining because I have already executed the function, so it is redefining the things, that's it. So now I will add x is equal to 1, the increment is this one, sorry, it's not a 1, it's a 0, and 0.6 is our last value. So we got 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and this value in the x. So I'm just adding Simpson 1/3. This is my function I have created. Okay, now x value I will pass and function as a sin x. Okay, you can check out the same value we got what earlier we got the values. Okay, okay, the same value, approximate value, but Simpson always give approximate value. For this one it is giving the exact value, so we can check this value using there is one internal function also is there, we can check out. Okay, even though we have solved the problem also, we got the same result. So now we'll quickly run to the program. What is our program? Okay, now we are defining one function. Okay, the function takes two values, one is x, another is f. X as a vector or values and f as a function. Okay, after this function execution we have to return a value as a I. We are going to return a value I which is going to be displayed. Okay, first of all we are just getting the length, the column and rows length of x. Okay, you can check out number of rows in x, number of columns in x, number of rows in f, number of rows in f. Okay, this we are going to check, and after that one we are just checking it should be not be empty or something single values. Okay, the number of rows in the x should be greater than 1, and here also it should be. If it is not there, we are just making some error and we are displaying x or f or both are not in a column vector. Okay, and about means return the terminate the function. Okay, if it is not there, if it is successful means our matrix is proper, then we are going to check another condition. Okay, if column of x and column of f of n does not equal, then also we are just returning they are not in the same length. Okay, after that one this is condition is satisfied and we are both condition is satisfied, we are going to check our number. Okay, whether our Simpson rule it only applies for even number of values, right? So we are just checking whether the column is equal to even. Okay, if it is a even, then we are going to terminate saying that one the list size must be an odd number. Okay, we are going to terminate, and another finally we are just checking how many numbers are there, how many columns values are there. Okay, after that one we are just checking the difference of each and every value, but as we have given there is a sequence, so we will get a 0.1 as a difference value, and the difference value we are making in the h. Okay, we are just getting the difference value in the h, that we are going to use MATLAB difference function. If we are passing a vector, right, so each and every element it will check what is the difference between successive two elements. Okay, so what the difference will get, and the difference we will get in a matrix format. So we are just taking a matrix 0 1 into 1 means the first value. Okay, so another one thing, we have already passed the values, right? Function we have already passed. Function is nothing but f is nothing but sin x. Okay, so in this one we are passing the first value of x, okay, in the sin x. Okay, then what we will get, we will get a 0 value in the sin x, and okay, then another value is n value, means that is the sixth value of the x. Okay, so you can see that one, we are calculating first this value. Okay, this method, initial value and the final value we are calculating. First we are making initial value, that is the 1 and n, because in Scilab there is no index start from 0, it index start from the 1 only. Here in the in calculation part, index start from the 0, because that reason we have make it as a 0. Okay, 0 value and 1 value of the function. Okay, so in this one f of sin x of 0, sin x of 0.6 we will get, and we add it and we put into the I. Okay, now we will move further for a for loop. Okay, initialize from the 2, because first value we have already taken, and n minus 1, the last value also we have taken, so we does not require the first value and the last value, so it will start from the 2 and it will end from n minus 1. Okay, then we will move for checking that one, whether it is a modulus of 2. If it is j is equal to modulus of 2, then calculate as a 4 into okay, 4 into the term. Okay, for the remaining term. If it is not okay, means then we are going to calculate with 2. Okay, 2 into f of I into j, means particular j value of sin x value we are going to get, and with the existing value of I we are just appending, we are just adding that one. Okay, this way if it is a even number, then it will come. If it is odd, if it is odd number, it will come here. It will even number, it will come here. Okay, then so in this one we calculate the value for the remaining one, means this 2 we are going to calculate. And finally we are just multiplying h by 3 into I, means this we are doing. Okay, with the resultant value we are making this one, and finally after the end of the function our I value is going to be returned. Okay, so you can check out, if we use this one we will get the same value. So not only this one, you can use a different value also. Example, 1 by 1 plus x. Okay, x is square value. Now the value the function is 1 by 1 plus x of 2. So if I calculate this value also we can get. So whatever the function we want to write, we can pass as a function parameter, and whenever we are passing to the function parameter, it will calculate the values with regards to x values, and it will store in that one as a array. F is a stored array for the each and every value of x. Okay, so because of that reason we are checking the sizes here. If it is not matching the sizes, then we are saying that one, these are the not valid values. Okay, so now what I do, let me clear this one, CLC. So I will clear my function Simpson 1/3, sorry, single quote, Simpson 1/3. So this is the way we can clear our function. So if I try to calculate the same function, okay, just a minute, 1/3. Okay, again if I try to calculate, so now my function is not available because I have cleared the function. Okay, so how can I write the function? Okay, just think function is equal to I, okay, is equal to sim sum 1/3. Okay, what are the things you are passing? X and F. Okay, click. So your function got started from here. You can write from in this one. Example, n number of rows in X, number of columns in X is equal to size of, so it will give the size of X. Okay, number of rows in function and number of columns in function, okay, is equal to size of F. Okay, and end function, it will give the end for the function. So this way you have to write the function. Hi all. This is about a 8th program in Scilab. Okay, so we have today what we have discussed. We have discussed about the integration, how we are going to work with integration. Okay, what is the use of numerical integration? Okay, how we are going to define it and how we are going to calculate the values. Okay, we are going to divide the curve in a n number of intervals. Okay, in this one, and there are 3 formulas: trapezoidal rule and Simpson 1/3 rule and Simpson 3/8 rule. So we have already also seen that formulas for each and every one. Okay, so we have applied one formula, that is Simpson 1/3 rule. If you want to apply any number of formula using this function which I have already shared with you, you can modify the same function, you can do the formula, you can complete the task. Okay, and one simple problem also we have seen, and we have seen the program also. So if you guys have any doubt, so we can clarify that one. Hello all. If there is no doubt, if you guys have any doubt in yesterday's concept in cloud computing, that also you can ask question. So shall I believe that you guys have understood the problem of Simpson 1/3 law, and can I assume that one you have also understood the functionality, how we are going to write the program. Okay, and another one thing, today I am going to give one simple assignment in the cloud computing. So it will be around 4 to 5 questions only. Please write down the answers properly using that shared videos as well as that textbooks shared with you guys. Okay, during this Sunday. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So if you guys don't have any doubt in this today's topic, Simpson 1/3 law, rule and program, I will finish this session, and I will share the same video so you guys can go through the video once again, and you can come back if you have any doubt.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.